CredibleHulk here, and we are going to be playing Kerbal Space Program some more. We're going to be building more rockets and going back into space. And so that's about it. I mean, we're just going to try to get back into the atmosphere. If you watched the earlier video, we were able to get into the upper atmosphere, but we haven't actually obtained orbit yet. So hopefully in this video we'll be able to achieve orbit. I spent all of my science points in the last mission that we did, so we're just going to come in here and we're going to redesign our rocket. Oh no, we don't have one loaded. That's fine. We're going to start with a command module as always. We're going to put our parachute on top, followed by a heat shield, because we're going to try to get in the atmosphere, so you need something to help protect you from re-entry. We're going to put our separator, decoupler. We're going to attach some, no, not fuel tanks yet. We want the science experiment, not the service bay. There we go. Science Kit Junior. All right. I'm going to put the mystery goo on our command pod. And we're going to fuel tanks. 2 fuel tanks. I always do it. If I don't have the long ones yet, I always go with 2 fuel tanks. Always. We'll get the thruster with the more thrust. Thruster with the more thrust. Then we will get our decoupler. And this is going to be our orbital maneuvering vehicle. After we get in the atmosphere, we're going to use this to aim our craft to get back into re-entry. So now we need to build our rocket to get us into the atmosphere. So 2 fuel tanks, and then we're going to go with we'll go with 4 fuel tanks. 4 fuel tanks. Radial decoupler. And what that means, that'll detach stuff from the side. The radial is on the side, so we're going to be able to stack stuff next to it instead of up and down. We'll put our thruster on the bottom. We'll put our fuel tanks that we're going to couple on the sides. And like I said, some people get into this and like do the crazy calculations and do all the weird things that, you know, rocket science and ooh, science and stuff, but I just wing it. I just wing it. Okay. Now we're going to do something interesting. Not really that interesting, but we're going to put some more radial decouplers on there. We're going to put some solid fuel boosters on there to help us gain more initial thrust. We're going to check our stages. We need to put all of our thrusters, all of our boosters together. Radial. Let's put our 2 radials together, because once we activate them together, they'll burn through the fuel at the same time. They'll run empty at the same time. Then we'll decouple them at the same time. We'll throw, these are the outer rockets. We'll throw these at the bottom too, that way they all activate at the same time. The solid fuel will run out faster than the liquid fuel, so we'll keep those attached. After these start to run dry, we'll then decouple and launch this rocket to get us hopefully into the atmosphere by at this point. So this will probably be a little bit of extra orbital maneuvering, and then we'll decouple, and this will be our return craft. And that should about do it. I wish I had the This is going to be really crazy because it's got the radials and the extra weight on the side. These things are going to try to be really wonky, and I need to do some add some fins for maneuvering to keep it from being weird. There we go. Okay, we're gonna make them aerodynamic by putting the nose cone to where it'll hit this and then branch everything off to the side instead of creating a pocket and dragging. So we're gonna add some aerodynamic to it. And that should be about it. I mean, I could do some other, like, put some radiator panels for heat dissipation, but that should be good the way that it is. Let's go ahead and head out to the launch pad. Make sure I have my... Okay. Do. Alright. I'm going to turn on my RCS and SAS, even though I don't have any RCS thrusters to keep it in balance, but we just want to try to keep it going vertical, so this will automatically tell the command pod to go straight up. Increase our throttle and ignite our first stage. As I told you, you see how it kind of sprung out a little bit because of the holding off just on that side coupling, and it's a little unbalanced, so it's kind of wobbling. You can see it wobble back and forth, but we have rotation. I really haven't had much success with trying to keep rotation. We're going to run out of solid fuel pretty soon. Decouple up. No! Stabilize. No! Stabilize. There we go. No, stabilize. Stability assist. We want to go with anti-normal. Normal. We want to go up. Go up. Come on. Adjust. Nope, it's not going to work for me. Come on. Well, that was not a successful rocket launch. I told you it probably wouldn't. We didn't even get any of our experiments done. No science. We're not going to get any science for this, I don't think. That's cool. That's cool. Failed attempt 1. Alright. See what we got. And we got 0.1 science. Sweet. At least we got something. So, let's get rid of these side stages. Ooh, something happened. Okay, let's get rid of these side stages. We'll just, see how this works with just a single stage. Well, not single stage. I mean, it's still got 2 stages. See how well this goes. Decreased weight, just a little bit of max thrust. I should probably put some extra thrusters on the side. I don't know. Nope, and we're toppling over again. Come on, go up. Go up. Why did that rocket not fire? You silly goose. You silly, silly goose. Revert flight. Revert to vehicle assembly. Is it not firing? Oh, that's why. Okay. Throw that up there. Throw that down there. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll add some fins for stability. And then we'll add some radials. Solid fuel boosters. Okay. Go check this out. We're experimenting. I forgot to check this. Add that way. We got those solid fuel thruster or boosters. We don't have the middle one going off. This will get us up, and then I forgot to do that too, but that's okay. We're just gonna play with it. That's what we're doing, is just playing with it. Almost out of solid fuel. We have rotation. Hopefully it'll add in stability. Oh, we're hitting the atmosphere. Stabilize. Stop toppling. I manually am closing down my thruster so I'm not speeding towards the frickin' ground. Come on. I'm almost in the upper atmosphere. Go up. There you go. Go up. Don't worry, once you get up a little bit more, we'll disconnect. Should get rid of some of this weight. Okay, Got rid of a lot of weight, so you should be able to adjust a little bit better. Come on. There we go. We're adjusting a lot better now that we don't have that excess weight. Now we're going to go into orbital map mode where we can come here and see our trajectory. We're going to add in our controls. We're going to slow down so we don't waste as much gas. 3 minutes till this arrival. Add maneuver. We're going to... Oop, that was the wrong thing. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to add normal. Oh, stop. Exit that. Okay. Add maneuver. That way, and that should achieve orbit. Okay. Now we're going to use this handy dandy tool where we're going to tell it to point where the maneuver is. Where we added this maneuver, it's plotted onto our little thing. We click here to tell it to point where the maneuver is. Estimated mode in 2 minutes. Hold on, I'm going to need a cough. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of thrust on so I can get an estimated burn time. We have an estimated burn time of 30 seconds, so I'm going to decrease my thrust again. And then once we reach where that node is, if you notice that the node's a little bit outside of what we were doing because we've adjusted it too much. Well, not too much, but it adjusted while we did our little test burn. So we're still going to wait until we get to our maneuver. And we're going to go ahead and fire because you usually wait until you're twice the node time. Like the estimated burn was 30 seconds. Twice that is 1 minute. So you want to start burning at T-1 minute for that maneuver. It's not going to be as precise and line up directly in it, but it'll, when I don't have that much fuel, hopefully I have enough to be able to achieve orbit and get out of orbit, which I don't think I'm going to have. I think I just lost fuel and I'm going to re-enter. But at least we made it into orbit, so we should get some science out of it. Go back into staging mode, and we'll look at our experiments. Observe. Look, 75 science. The microgravity has greatly affected the growth of the crystalline structures. Loose objects are also flying around the bay. It's a little bit messy, but in a fascinating way. Crew report. Plus 15 science. Yay. Our mystery goo. Plus 30 science. The goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. So we've done all of our experiments. There's no more fuel in this part of the tank, so there's no reason to keep it attached. Because we want the bottom of it to go towards the Earth, we're going to turn off our SAS and RCS to where it naturally adjusts to where the heat shield will point down and protect us from re-entry. Once we hit the atmosphere and the friction starts pushing around the... we will have to try to make sure and keep the nose pointed up though, so once that happens, once this gets over here, we want to still point it like this until we hit the atmosphere. We'll go ahead and get rid of this maneuver. Stupid maneuver. But at least we made orbit. Or not orbit, but we made it into the outer atmosphere. Because we're now outside of the atmosphere. And I could at this point do an exterior vehicular, the EVA event or adventure. But because we're going down into hitting re-entry, I don't want to chance hurting my Kerbal. Okay, we have now hit atmosphere, we're going to turn off our SAS to where it automatically adjusts. And our heat shield. See how it's red? Can't deploy, don't deploy, don't deploy. Holy crap. There we go. And it should be turning green soon. Or yellow, or white, or... I'm going... There we go. Boy, shoot. See what I mean? That shouldn't have happened. And now what? Mr. Contaminant unit splashed down hard and was destroyed. 12 minutes. Revert to launch. Okay, we're going to do this a little bit differently. We're going to add this stage to this where we have rocket going at the same time. Okay. Nope. First vehicle assembly, where we're going to add aerodynamic. Come on. Add our aerodynamics. Did that really put 2 on? Oh, come on. We'll add some fins to keep it straight, hopefully. And that's all we can hope for. Go into orbit, go into orbit. See, what I don't understand is I used to build ships like this all the time, and they would just make it into orbit. I could play around and do different things, but for some reason they're just not cutting it. Oh, look, I forgot to put this back down there, so... Oh, no. Back in the stage. Well, at least we're still going in the normal instead of anti-normal, or prograde. There we go, prograde. That's what it is. We're adding altitude. We're going pro. Okay, and we will decrease our thruster to save gas. Cut it off. Add maneuver. Continue to go prograde. Rotate. Rotate. Prograde. Rotate. And you see how this popped up? That means that that is the opposite side of our orbit. So we are going to achieve orbit if we hit this maneuver. Why did it do that? Go. Okay. That's the maneuver that we want. Aim it towards the maneuver. Wait, what the heck? Okay. 2 minutes burn, and we got a decent amount of gas left, but that's fine because we also still have our atmospheric maneuvering up here. Those fins are what made a world of difference. Those freaking fins. Okay, we got a minute left. We're gonna do a test burn. So we got an estimated burn time of 1:07, so we're gonna go ahead and keep burning. Since we're supposed to do at least a one for one. We'll run out of fuel soon. Woo! We have achieved orbit. We have achieved orbit. How much gas do we have left? Oh man. Oh god. We've achieved orbit, but hopefully we have enough gas to maneuver back into re-entry. Otherwise, we're screwed. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm already at 26 minutes on this video, so I am going to stop this video. This has been Credible Hulk playing Kerbal Space Space Program. We've achieved orbit, thankfully. Next video, we should try to return to orbit, hopefully. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, message me, follow us on Twitter. Anyway, have fun.